One day Arthur came upon Merlin standing motionless, staring into a pond. The boy asked what he was looking at. "I was watching a dragonfly," replied Merlin, "but then forgot whether I was dreaming of this dragonfly or whether it was dreaming of me." "Isn't the answer obvious?" Arthur asked. Merlin frowned. "You think your dreams exist inside your mind, but I find myself everywhere, so who knows which part of me is dreaming another part?" The wizard inside each of us could also be called the witness. It remains awake and aware, whether you're waking, dreaming, or asleep. Energy and information are basic to anything we can see, hear, or touch in the relative world. Yet in their primordial state, these ingredients are formless. It takes another force to organize the wondrous order of life: intelligence. Intelligence is the glue of the universe. The wizard knows that he is that intelligence. So it isn't necessary for the wizard to be awake to see. Seeing in its deeper sense can take place while we dream or sleep, because to see means to be awake to the universe's intelligence. The wizard's awareness unites, whereas the rational mind separates. The rational mind looks out there at a world of objects in time and space, while the wizard sees everything as part of himself. Hence Merlin's claim that he could hardly tell if he was dreaming of a dragonfly or the dragonfly was dreaming of him. The boundaries we erect to divide heaven from earth, real from unreal, are mere conveniences. Having made the boundaries, we can unmake them just as easily. Think of this tape. It is a solid object. Yet, a tape is made of plastic. Plastic is made of molecules. Molecules are made of atoms. Atoms are bundles of energy, and bundles of energy consist of 99.99999% empty space. So how solid is this tape? The world is entirely dependent upon the power of perception. Without eyes, the world would be invisible. If sight made the world visible, the wizard asks, who or what is the creator of sight? The seer behind the eye is just consciousness itself, giving birth to our senses, so that they can give birth to everything around us. Why does the world exist? Because one vast consciousness wanted to write the code of life and unfold its strands across the page of time. It is no wonder that a wizard cannot tell where his own body ends and the world begins. Who am I? Is the only question worth asking, and the only one never answered. It is your destiny to play an infinity of roles, but these roles are not yourself. The spirit is non-local, but it leaves a fingerprint behind, which we call the body. A wizard does not believe himself to be a local event dreaming of a larger world. A wizard is a world dreaming of local events. Merlin disappeared from Arthur's world for many years, but then one day he suddenly reappeared, walking up to Camelot. Overjoyed to see his old master, King Arthur ordered a royal banquet in his honor. But Merlin looked at his old pupil as if he had never seen him before. The wizard said loudly, "I shall offer this bag of gold dust to anyone who can tell me who this person is." And immediately a purse appeared in his hands. One by one, the members of the court ventured guesses, and one by one they were dismissed with a curt nod from Merlin. Soon no one remained in the great hall except the wizard and the king. "I am your old friend and disciple," Arthur said quietly. Merlin shook his head, and the king himself had no choice but to leave. He glanced back to see Merlin at the window. The wizard flung the gold dust into the air. "Why did you do that?" Arthur called out. "I had to," Merlin replied. "The wind told me who you are." "But it didn't say anything," Arthur protested. The wizard smiled. "Exactly. Wizards and their kind have often been content to remain nameless and placeless. They see themselves as citizens of the cosmos. Therefore, any localized place where they can be found is irrelevant. The wizard sees his body as a wisp of consciousness taking shape in the world. No boundaries restrict him. Yet mortals could not exist without boundaries. Their bodies define where they are. Merlin felt it was impossible to see the truth of the human body, that it is a river of awareness flowing through time, because so much weight of the past had accumulated on it. To experience this lesson, you need to forget your name for a while. Escaping name and form means finding out who you really are. The experience of being entirely free of roles is actually quite simple. When you wake up in the morning, there is an instant where you exist without thought. You're just yourself, in a simple state of awareness. Our habit is to identify with the thinking process. But in reality, you are not what you are thinking. As you listen to these words, turn your attention to the one who is listening. You immediately sense an awareness that is alert, uninvolved, yet intensely alive. You have interrupted the act of observation to catch a glimpse of the observer. This seer is the timeless factor in every time-bound experience. And this seer is you. Before you jump out of bed tomorrow, see if you can catch the fleeting hint of being before the mind starts chattering. This still, silent state is the castle whose walls no army will ever scale. Wizards don't believe in death. In the light of awareness, everything is life. There are no beginnings or endings. To the wizard, these are only mental constructs. To be most fully alive, you have to be dead to the past. Molecules dissolve and pass away, but consciousness survives the death of the matter on which it rides.